Now, this is the simplest way to solve quadratic equation. If you're writing an exam, this video is for you. So whenever you have a quadratic equation like this, they are simply asking you to find two numbers such that if you add those two numbers together, you're going to have whatever that is here. And then if you multiply the two numbers together, you're going to have whatever that is here. When you look at this equation, let's take example equation 1. When you look at it very well, you see that the two numbers that if you add, you have 5, and if you multiply them, you have 6. Those numbers are 2 and 3. You can see that if you add 2 and 3, you're going to have 5, and then if you multiply 2 times 3, you're going to have 6. So 2 and 3 becomes the solution to this equation. This trick only work when the coefficient of x square is unity. Now, if the coefficient of x square is not unity, you are going to make it to be unity. Now, let's take example 2. Now, example 2 is 2x square minus 6x plus 4. You can see that now the coefficient of x square is not unity. So we are going to make it to be unity. We are going to divide each term by 2 and divide the side by 2 is equals to 0. If you divide 0 by 2, of course, you're going to have 0. So there is no need of dividing this by 2. So this will cancel this. So we'll have x squared minus 6 divided by 2, that is 3x, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2 equals 0. Now you can see that from here, the coefficient of x squared is now unity. Now you can think of two numbers that if you add them together, you're going to have minus 3. And when you multiply them, you're going to have 2. Now, as a math student, you should know how to think very fast. Now, what are those two numbers that if you add, you are going to have minus 3? And when you divide them, when you multiply them, you're going to have 2. Now, those two numbers are minus 2 and minus 1. You can see minus 2 minus 1, that is minus 3. And then if you multiply minus 2 times minus 1, you're going to have 2. So obviously, you can see that minus 2 and minus 1 is the solution to this equation. Now, let's take example 3. Now, example 3 is 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. You can see that. Now, the coefficient of x squared is not unity. Now, we're going to make it to be unity. How do we do that? We're going to divide each term by 3, divide here by 3, divide here by 3. And then, of course, this one is going to cancel here. I'm going to have 3x squared plus 2x all over 3 plus 1 all over 3 equals 0. You can see that here is a fraction. What we have here is fraction and fraction. Now, it's still the same thing. You're going to think of two fractions that when you add together, you're going to have 2 all over 3. And then when you multiply them, you're going to have 1 all over 3. Now, what do you think is the fraction that when you add them together, you have 2 over 3, and when you multiply them, you're going to have 1 all over 2. So if you know the answer, I want you to put it in the comment section. That will make me feel that you understand what I just explained. So I'll see you in the next video.